the sons of former football greats in college football who are thriving. Full disclosure, we can only do this segment during the summer, right? And it's the only time that I actually got to earn my paycheck when we got to figure out what we're going to talk about in the month of June, headed into July for media days. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, what if we just talk about, dudes that are the progeny of prodigies? And Tyler, like, what you mean? I'm like, cool, let me give you an example of what I mean. Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. is the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison Sr. I'm using one that that I know that so you can see where we're headed here. But suffice to say, Marvin Harrison Sr. averaged 85 catches and 1,100 yards with 10 TDs for 13 years in the NFL. Last year, Marvin Harrison Jr. caught 77 passes for 1,263 yards with 14 TDs. How do you tell me that you are wide receiver one without telling me you're a wide receiver one? You could just say, my name is Marvin Harrison and I'm a Martian because I am not of this world. Okay. Next on the list, again, you're going to see where I'm going. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders is the son of one of the 5 best athletes in American history, Deion Primetime Sanders, who also doubles as the head coach at Colorado, where Shedeur is quarterback. Now, I got a lot of things I could say about Shedeur Sanders, and I've said them, and I will continue to say them. Like last year, there were only 3 quarterbacks across 3 divisions that had seasons of passing for 3,500 yards, 40 TDs, and fewer than 6 interceptions. CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, and Shedeur Sanders. But I can even go further than that. I could say that dude won the Jerry Rice Award in 2021, which is given to the nation's best freshman across the country and the first HBCU player to win the damn trophy named after an HBCU player. I can even go further, and I could say things like Sanders won the Deacon Jones Trophy last year, which is given to the nation's top HBCU player. I can even say that there is more on Shedeur Sanders right now than there was on Shaq Leonard coming out of South Carolina State. But the thing that I really want to drive home here is Shedeur's from Texas. And I don't mean Houston, Texas. I don't mean West Texas. I don't mean Central Texas. I mean he's from Texas. And when I say he's from Texas, he was born in Tyler, Texas. Ain't nothing soft coming out of Tyler, Texas. Ain't nothing soft coming out of Tyler, Texas. It ain't happening, And the reason I can tell you that is the damn Tyler Rose is Earl Campbell. So we might call him a Rose, but anybody that watched any film of Earl Campbell knows ain't nobody want to tackle that Peterbilt on full tilt going down the highway, because that's what it was. You come out of Tyler, Texas, you got something to you. And that's what they got in Colorado. Very excited to see what that dude can do for them. Next on the list, again, you're going to see where I'm going here. Frank Gore Jr. is the son of former 2001 Miami Hurricane National champion and running back and 16-year NFL vet Frank Gore Sr. Okay, so last year Southern Miss, which is my mama's alma mater, who was the biggest Frank Gore Jr. fan that you might never have heard of, led the team in rushing with 800 yards, 179 carries, 4.5 yards. He's had the best rushing season by any guy who is a Golden Eagle since Ito Smith rushed for like 1,400. Dude could play. The USC wide receiver Brendan Rice is the father of maybe the greatest football player of all time in Jerry Rice, right? Now, enough to say, if that don't cook your ramen, son, you in the wrong soup kitchen, okay? Because I get fired up knowing that sort of stuff. Penn State wide receiver DB Christian Driver is the son of Super Bowl winning Green Bay Packer wide receiver Donald Driver. Now, I say wide receiver and DB because on the roster, Christian Driver is listed as an athlete. Like that, it says ATH next to his name, which is kind of wild. Redshirt in 2022, but played his high school ball down the street from me in Flower Mound for Jason Witten at Liberty Christian, where he went both ways and helping them in TAPS, which is the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools. Another way of saying private Christian schools that don't play against ISDs, because ISDs will whoop their ass. But he won the long jump 6A title, and that's even in TAPS. That's no mean feat. Like that means something to us. Also, Donald Driver is 100% that dude. Like I put him on my all-time HBCU team a couple years back, and he was very excited about it. I even got one of my homies called me out, but like, dude, Donald Driver? Yes, because that man made it to the league and showed out in the league coming out of HBCU in the 21st century. Show me somebody else, right? All right, next on the list, we got LSU tight end Mason Taylor, I got ahead of myself. Michigan State wide receiver Antonio Gates Jr. We're going to get to Mason. Mason, we're going to get to you, I promise. But that dude is the father of, or is the son of Antonio Gates Sr., 3-time first-team All-Pro. But the thing I love about Antonio Gates is, my God, Baker Mayfield went from walk-on to Heisman. Gates Sr. went from Joe to pro. Like, that dude was undrafted and was an All-Pro. That doesn't happen, right? He also is the NFL's all-time leader in tight end catches with 116. And his kiddo, Antonio Gates Jr., can absolutely play. 5th best product coming out of the state of Michigan in his class, 55 catches, 925 yards, 16 TDs with 2 picks in his last year of high school football. And as a wide receiver at Michigan State, Keon Coleman is gone. And they figured out who the quarterback is going to be. I would not be surprised to see Antonio Gates Jr. is getting some run, even 6'2", 190. Now I'm on the LSU tight end, Mason Taylor, who is the son of 2006 NFL Defensive Player of the Year and 3-time first-team All-Pro, Jason Taylor. And his uncle is Zach Thomas. And his auntie is Joy Taylor, who's over there doing Speak for Yourself with the man Acho. Look, Mason Taylor is fast becoming one of the better tight ends in all the country. And a lot of that comes down to what he did last year as a true freshman. 38 passes caught in 14 games, 414 yards, including the biggest play of his life against Alabama in a game that absolutely won them the SEC West. I think the dude could be great, but also you look at Brian Kelly, he's got a pretty damn good track record of producing tight ends here of late. And then last year we got, or 2 more here, we got Tennessee defensive back Christian Harrison, who is the son of 2-time Super Bowl champion Rodney Harrison. You know, Rodney Harrison also leads the NFL in most sacks by a safety with 38.5 all time, and then has the most tackles in any Super Bowls, like combined Super Bowls with 33. And his kid Christian could play. Top 50 player coming out of the state of Georgia, picked off 5 passes, 2 forced fumbles as a senior. And then Stanford running back E.J. Smith is the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. I can tell you more about Emmitt Smith, but like, if that is not putting the rub on your brisket, son, you in the wrong barbecue pit, because Emmitt is it. And EJ, I mean, you could do a lot worse than being an all academic come out of Stanford, which is a place that I'm sure that, hell, I'd fell out of, let alone play football and go to Stanford. All right. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.